Gracias, Gunners Collective TV. Back at it, you already know. Like a motherfucking smack addict. Bye up, bye up. And in Menudo style in direct fashion, we're going to get straight into the content of the day. But before we do, let's hit that like and subscribe button. Put your notification bell on all so that way you're directed in the direction of the dope content that I am kicking. And I highly appreciate all the support, man. We're going up on this channel. It's all because of you. And for that, I can say I'm very humbled and I'm very much so appreciative. So gracias. So Dub's fucked up. I think I'm going to have to fall back. I'm going to have to step back for a little bit, man. You know, I really honestly think that, you know, Dubs is not what's best for my life. The homie did the old Folsom setup. He slithered through the grass on me, gente. He did me dirty, right? But, you know, sometimes friends do that. That's what homeboys do. And I will tell you this, man, that today we did a live this morning. You know, we were chopping it up, talking about for content purposes, like what we're going to do. And we do a live, man, and somehow, some way, the conversation comes up about the one chip challenge that I've done several times on YouTube. I don't like doing it, but I've done it, right? They were talking about Cholo Juan did it, and I was like, Lucas, fuck that. I ain't doing that, right? And then, like a baboso, I go to the cajon and I open it. I'm like, hey, I got the one chip right here. I'm trying to floss on him and act all stupid, right? And all of a sudden, Dubs ruins my life. He ruins the live and my life. Guess what he does? The vato shoots me 20 bolas. He shoots $20 on the super chats and says, hey, everyone match. If you send 10 fucking $20 cash apps, Gunner's going to do this shit. He's going to eat the one chip tonight. Puts me on the spot. Ruined my whole life. My gut went, everything was all bad, man. But I'm going to do it. So I'll say this, man. Gunner don't do none for nothing, right? But Dubs is the homie, man. And if Dubs says, let's do it, fuck it. That's the homie, right? That's the OG homie. Let's do it then. You know, I got you, bro. I got you. You know, never in my life did I ever think a fucking guy from Southern California would dictate my program. But I guess it happens like that, right? So now, Dubs is my boy, man. He has my best interests at heart, but he likes to play jokes. There's a reason why everyone thinks, see, here's the cool part. Everyone thinks Dubs is just, he's just a smooth OG, did a whole bunch of years and that. But man, you guys don't be hearing what we be talking about. We've been this motherfucker clowning. That guy is 100 times more funnier than I could ever be, right? But the joke's on me this time. The joke's on me. Dubs done did me dirty, man. So I will be doing the one chip challenge tonight, man. If the money is raised for charitable purposes, like fucking Pepto-Bismol and shit, you know. But let's get it, man. I guess, you know, it's a better night than any to fucking fuck my guts up, right? Hey, think about it. Wes Watson blows his guts out every day. So, you know what I mean? That motherfucker's still carrying his 120 AG. How are you going to ride in a Bugatti with your 120 AG in your asshole? I don't get it. So anyways, I wanted to tell a story, man. I was asked by the homeboy. Shout out to the homeboy 818, man. Big time supporter. He asked me a question and I felt that if for no other reason I should answer it. Now, I've answered it in bits and pieces, but I wanted to go into more detail about the time that I finally decided enough was enough. When I finally realized that the gangbanging lifestyle that I was living for so many years, the criminal lifestyle, the breakings and enterings, the robbings, the fightings, the stabbings, the shootings, the murderings, right? We're done. When I said, you know what? I don't want to be a part of that anymore. And, you know, to some, they think they have an epiphany. Is that how you say it? And that epiphany or whatever? And that it just happens one day. This gradually happened over time. But I distinctly remember the very first, there was 2 incidences that happened that I was like, it made me question what I was a part of. Didn't make me question the homies. Didn't make me question the Norteño cause, but made me question whether I was cut to still continue my life like that. Now, the way I basically removed myself from the situation was a little bit different, unlike what people say or do, you know, because there's a lot of different ways to fall back or fall off, especially while in prison. See, I could have easily just did my time, turned my cheek, man, just shine everything on that was going on around me and got out and then just disappeared with my family, still in good standings and all that. But I'm a man who lives by principles and morals, and I have standards. And I got in violent, I'm going to get out violent. But I'm going to get out on my own accord, right? That was my thinking. So people ask me all the time, are you a dropout, Gunner? Are you a fucking DO piece of shit dropout? No, I don't think so. You know, I was never a part of an organization like that. I was a piece to the puzzle, but I never was the whole damn puzzle, right? So, I mean, you can call me what you want. You can feel how you want. I'm not here to hinder anyone's thoughts or try to change fucking narratives or make anyone think differently of me. I'm just me, right? And a lot of people don't like me because I rub them the wrong way. But, you know, I wouldn't like a man rubbing on me anyway. So, boom, there you go, right? But I will tell you this. These are facts. This is what happened. So, I'm in DVI, Tracy Prison. This was my first inkling of, and I had seen a lot of pegadas. I had seen a lot of removals, unjust. I didn't give a fuck, to be honest with you. I was biased. I was with my homeboys above anything else. I showed favoritism. I think we all did. If I'm with 3 or 4 homeboys from my hood or in the county jail and one's in question, I made sure he wasn't in question. You know, it was just, unless he was a weirdo, then you got to go. I'll do it myself. But, you know, but I'm in Tracy, and there was a homeboy there from Stockton. I'll never forget, he was a youngster. And they took us to medical. We went to medical, and they put us like in this big cage. It was like a little yard, and there was the homeboy from, the homeboy boy from fucking Gilas was there. He's an OG, right? There's 2 boys. There's boy and I think his son, but boy from Gilas, which is a good homie right there. Me and him. There was another homeboy from Sacra, homeboy Blast from Sanjo, and then the homeboy from fucking from Stockton. He was a youngster, and I think they called him Bozo or something like that. To be honest with you, you know what I mean. But his mustache wasn't all fucked up like Bozo's is. But and no cap, just real. And so I remember I was chopping up with them. We were active. We're general population. They had us in the case, a couple Africanos, couple natives. And so the homies we're chilling. We're waiting. They're drawing our blood, doing whatever they do in the fucking reception to figure out where they're going to put you. That's how they do it. So we're right there and we're chopping game. We're going to be there for about an hour. They give us a sack lunch. And I remember the homie, I was like, yeah, what you locked up for, bro? And he's asking questions. You know, everyone there is in good standings. Everyone there is cleared. You know, no one there is like fucking, no one there's on freeze. Nothing. It's just solid. But he's young. He had never been nowhere. He's a first termer. So he's asking like, hey, bro, where do you think they're going to put me? I said, well, what are you locked up for? He's like, oh, bro, just stealing cars and this and that and whatever. And of course, I don't check his paperwork. We're out there at a medical facility. He's already cleared by the homies. He's in my compa. He's in the fucking building. We're in J-Wing at the time, right? So I know he's solid. I seen his name on the roster. That means he's cleared. So I ain't got to check his paperwork, right? I mean, I'm sure there's details. And if he was my cellie, yeah, but I don't. So we're just kicking it. And he's like, yeah, bro, fucking, you know, I'm only doing a couple years. And I was like, oh, shit, fucking, with 85%, you're going to do fucking whatever, right? So I'm like, you're probably going to go to a level 2 or a level 1, bro. You've been to the youth authority, so now I never went to YA. I never was in the mix like that. Then I started fucking with the homies. And then I said, well, that'll do it. That'll do it. That's why I tell youngsters, hey, all you youngsters out there, I never got in trouble. Fuck with the homies and see what happens. That'll do it, right? So I was like telling him, yeah, you're probably going to go to a level 2, bro. Maybe Jamestown. Level 2 or wherever, you know, wherever. I ain't never been in no level 2s, but I know that they got them in certain spots. And he was like, well, how is it? Are they all good? And I said, well, that just depends on where they send you. You know, if they're functioning, cool. If not, then not. Then you got to get off. But he's down. He's like, oh, yeah, I'll get off on anyone, bro. He's with the business. And so I remember about a week later, there was a homeboy that was on the tira. He was on the tier. And he was a dirty caveman looking motherfucker, right? Snap into a Slim Jim, brother. He was a macho man looking motherfucker, right? Randy Savage. And this vato, for some reason, had missed a shower. Like, they would open one side of the tier, you go to the showers, walk down with your towel, whatever, take your shower, get back. Now, one thing about being a gang member in prison, you know, as a Norteño, we practice good hygiene. You know, we're trying to be presentable, classy, professional as can be. Southerners did the same thing. Everyone did it, right? You don't want to look like a fucking a dirtbag, you know, like you're trying to ride a fucking Harley down the tier. So, I'm not saying that all bikers are like that. I'm just saying, you know, Vato was looking oily. He was looking like he's working on a muffler in that cell. You know, he was doing a fucking a oil change in his cell. His cellie was like, he ain't changing my oil. One never knows does one because you end up getting whacked too. Anyway, so look what happens. So this dude missed the shower. The homeboys got at him. His TS, which was his tier security, got at him like, hey, bro, we don't be missing showers. You got to get up off your ass, bro. You can't, you know. And dude, it was an OG. Like, he had been around. He wasn't no youngster. This wasn't his first term, so he knew what time it was. But I guess him and showers were beefing. That was his op that day, right? So they gave him the pass the first time. Was the second time the Vato misses a shower again, chooses not to step outside the cell. Now, it ain't even about the shower, really. Yeah, wash your stinky ass, but more so, it's about anytime that door cracks, you got to be ready to go. You got to step out that cell. I don't give a fuck if there's 100 enemy guys right there. You're going to step out and let them know what it is, right? He doesn't do it. So now his name's being whispered about, and it comes across my plate, and they're like, what do you think we should do? And I'm like, you know what I mean? He got to get DP, bro. Like, there's something that got to happen to him. And, you know, if you're in the Norteño business, then you understand that you write essays, and there's a lot of different things that you can do. You know, some burpees or whatever, but we don't want this motherfucker stinking or more sweaty than he already is. His celly's over there trying to gasp for air at the door, like, trying to get some air, right? So the homeboys get at him. The tier tender gets at him like, hey, bro, you know what I'm saying? The homeboy is highly recommended, bro, that you take your ass to the shower the next time because, you know, you got the homeboy over here fucking with pale face. You know what I mean? It's all bad. You know, homeboy's over here turning green, and there's something about a green Norteño. He's not from Gardones. We just don't like that. So anyways, the homie, he says, all right, cool, you know, whatever. Shower time comes around again. Nope, zero. This is at 3 showers now. He's telling everyone, hey, I'm bird bath. I'm old school, bro. I don't go to the showers are dirty. Whatever. He has all these different justifications for why he ain't stepping out of his cell. And now it's come to a point like, hey, dirtbag, if you don't want to shower, don't shower, but fucking step out the cell, puto, right? So now, fuck the essays, you know? And I don't mean like the Mexicans. I'm saying writing essays, right? It's on now. It's on. It's time to go, right? Full go. So, you know, this fool, they came up with the idea to whack him. Okay? Now, the dude who was a tier security at that time and the dude who was the squad leader, they were little tough guys, right? Funny because these are the type of guys that were never really like that, but just found themselves in a position of authority because there was no one there that was fucking seasoned, right? They're on the other side of the tier, right across from me. And I never really cared for them, but who am I to rock the boat, right? I'm just one of the fellas. And so they do the pegada and I'm not privy to it. They sent the youngster from Stockton in, him and another homeboy, and they gave him weaponry and told him stay on him. They did, man. They ended up ultimately killing this guy, Tracy, right? Over not taking a shower. Now, that disillusioned me a little bit right there. That was the first glimpse of into these two characters right here that wouldn't do shit, sent 2 young homies in there. One that was just doing a couple years, man, first term, didn't know. Depended on the older homeboys to look out for him, right? They put him in a position where he couldn't say no. And of course, he did it. I mean, he knew what he was signed up for, right? But over a goddamn shower. Over a dirty, fucking, stinky, fucking, dread-headed motherfucker that didn't want to take a shower, right? And literally, his hair started turning to dreads after about the 3rd week. So that right there made me think, like, man, do I want to be a part of utilizing other people? I know I've done people dirty in the past, and I don't want to be that anymore. I guess I was maturing. I was changing. So that was the first thing that made me think, like, I don't know about this anymore, right? But again, I'm striving. I'm still with the homies. I believe in the cause firmly. I still do to this day. I believe in a lot of the things that I learned and was educated on, but I didn't agree with it. So I get to, of course, I get to Susanville. You know, they send me to Susanville prison. Susanville just flipped. I've told you guys the story a million times. We were all in the oil. There was a degenerate in the back. Said he was an NF member. He wasn't. You know, he was a washed up fucking tecato that fucking was literally a one that had fell off but was playing the system, man, because he was on walk alone. And it was hard at that time to write letters to Pelican Bay. Like, it was taking 3 or 4 months to get there. Like, this dude was able to wiggle. So he actually established that yard, man. A degenerate did, right? We all got out there. Of course, he's on walk alone. And I always told the homies, why is this dude on walk alone? But they said, oh, he's validated this and that. And, you know, that's how the gang coordinator played it off. Whatever, right? So I'm not stupid. I'm already figuring, like, something's wrong with this dude, man. He can't, you know, he tells the homies what to do, but he can't do it with the homies. I've always been a firm believer, man, you got to lead by example. That's why I did the video yesterday on Skip. He's someone who does that, right? So I'm just looking like, all right. So I get to the yard, of course, man, and immediately they flip the yard. So that means the NGNs, the no good Northerners that were there at that time, the dropouts or the guys who fell off or whatever. You know, it was a 50-50 yard. They flipped it. Now they put us on the yard. And so immediately one of the homeboys that's on the building that has the yard, he got put in position to have the yard. He gets him a connect with the Woods, some dope, right? And cool. I mean, you utilize whatever you can. We got to make our money. It is what it is. I'm all for it. They said, hey, we got the connect, bro. I had building 3. I had my building, right? Not building 3, but that's the way I had my building. And so I'm telling the homie, it's good, whatever, right? But then they started indulging. And one thing a Norteño at that time couldn't do was fuck with hard drugs, right? And I was strictly against it. I didn't like it, didn't believe in it. I'm one of those guys, man, I always had to stay ready so I didn't have to get ready. Like, fuck this, right? Let's, you know what I mean? You know, these Southsiders, bro, they're always, there's a lot of them. I thought we need to fucking get off where we're mad at. Even though it was all respect there, that my vecinos, my next door neighbors were 2 Southsiders that actually had that yard. They were cool, right as fuck. We should trade CDs, all that. They were solid as fuck. They shoot softballs and everything. They opened my eyes to a lot, man, in prison. Because up until that point, man, I had never really fraternized or had conversations with Southerners because they're on the other side of the yard. But because these guys were my neighbors, man, they were cool. Shit, I liked them better than I liked my celly, to be honest. So one day, I remember the exact day, I'm sitting there in the cell with my celly, Bestia, Beast from Sakura. And he's no longer in good standings. Told you so. I'm happy. I do the Cosby on his ass without the putting pills in people's drinks, right? I'm happy about that one because that fool thought he was high powered and just fucking a sucker, man. None of the cellies liked him. But anyways, he was my celly, all high powered and shit. And I'm looking out the back window where my cell is. It faces the oil. And I see a gang of homies out there working out. And I'm like, I'm feeling proud. They're out there doing their cadence, working out. I'm like, damn, look at the homies working out. And he looks and he goes, those ain't the homies. I said, yeah, they are. Look, Huelga birds, 14s all over them. I can see them right here, bro. Those are the homies. He said, man, I'm telling you, those ain't the homies. Those are the degenerates. I said, say that 3 times fast, Sese. Right? Spell that out for me. What do you mean degenerates? With like the capital D and an iterate, right? He's like, no, bro, those are they don't bang. Those are non-actives. I was like, serio? There's hella homeboys over there I know. Personally. Seen them do pegadas in Corcoran. I'm like, what? Right? The homeboy right there's a killer, bro. Whooping. I started hitting my cousin's voice. There's like 3 homeboys that come out after to work out, shivering and shaking in the snow because it's snowing out there, right? He goes, those are the homeboys. It was at that exact moment I knew something was changing. I was like, okay, this disillusioned me too because where was the canalismo? Now I understand those 3 that were striving, nothing but the utmost respects. They were doing it, man. And it's not about numbers, but you have to understand the position I was in. I was looking like, why are there's this many dropouts? Why are so many people falling off? What is going on that I don't know? And then, of course, I went through my whole situation where I questioned the drug usage, of course. Got wheelers written behind my back. They tried to have my celly whack me. They tried to have me do a pegada. All kinds of different things that happened where ultimately I went out to the yard and I took off on the homies. I got off where I was mad at. It is what it is. Red on red. I'm deemed. I'm no good. Okay, cool. Didn't go tell on anyone. Didn't debrief. Do none of that. I was just deemed no good. They asked me, what do you know? I don't know shit. Keep me in here forever if that's what you want to do, or send me back to the yard so I can do my move and come right back and then just keep on doing my move until eventually you have to move me. And they sent me to Jamestown, the 50-50 yard, and that's how I lived, right? But so when the homeboy asked me what made me change my thought process, it was hard. It was very hard to do what I did. And even after that, man, I would hear the homeboys talk on the tier, and it was hard for me not to put my 2 cents in. And it took years, man. It wasn't something that happened overnight. And then when I got out and I realized my children and my life and what I had going on in my family meant a lot to me, and my eyes opened. See, I didn't have that hindrance anymore of trying to act tough and be cool and put in work and get a hold of the homeboys and sending money orders to homies and doing all that. Like, it wasn't there no more. And I didn't know what to do without it, to be honest with you guys. But I figured something out. What I figured out was take your ass to work, educate yourself, educate your mind. Everything that the Norteño cause instilled in you is instilled to do better on the street. See, I had a conversation with Rascal the other day from Homie Hangout. Shout out to the Homie Hangout. Go tap in with him, man. I think we're definitely more open now to conversing, and it's a great thing being civil with each other rather than the bullshit back in the days of talking shit and all that. It's just we're grown gentlemen with families. We know what time it is, right? And so I'm sitting there talking with him, man, and he talked about, man, remember the old times when the OG schooled you, man, and you felt proud and it didn't matter and things like that. And I was like, yeah, it's not like that anymore. You don't get that education anymore. It's to attain status, man, meant something. Now everyone got it. You see it in rap videos. Volta's blasted with shit or talking about shit they never should have, that would never be said before. YouTube channels, all kinds of different things, it's just wild. But anyways, so this is not a process but it's the greatest process because at the end of the day, man, I'm free. I'm free to live my life. And I know people say, well, you got to look over your shoulders every day and hope you don't get whacked. Well, I did that when I was active. You know, more people were mad at me when I was out there making people mad at me. You know, now I'm just doing what I do, man. I'm living my best life with my family, going through the situations I go through on a personal level, but it is what it is, you know. So for those that are out there that think everything's just fun and games and you want to act cool and be cool, we'll see how cool you are when you're like the little homie doing life because they put a knife in his hands. You know, there's things that I've seen and things I've participated in that I wish I never would have, but that was part of the life I chose. Now I see things different. I see my daughter's recitals at school. I see some bomb-ass teachers with big old nalgas, straight pirujas. I'm like, damn. I had one teacher the other day like, oh, I hear you went at the casino all the time. I said, no, I don't go much, but I used to. We should go one time. I said, yeah, I don't really go to the casino anymore. For real, she hit the side pose on me. I said, bitch, let's go right now. Right? You know what I mean? So anyways, that's the life I'm living now, man. To those that are looking or aspiring to be a gang member, do what you do. I'm not going to tell you not to, but I'm going to tell you, man, for me, my perspective on it was it didn't get me nowhere. And that's just the truth. So I'm going to go back to the life that I live, which is Dubs ruining it, having me eat the hot chip. Make sure you guys tap in tonight to the live, man. Let's show some support because they're going to fuck me up and fuck my whole guts up, man. I'm going to get the bubble guts. You know what it is, man. Thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to strive, struggle, and strive for what I truly believe in. And that's the betterment of all people. I'm giving you knowledge you can't get in college. What you do and what you don't do with it, that's fucking up to you, man. I'm going to do me.